The Wavelengths present a spontaneous conversation with Sara and Jonte about February 22nd, 2022. Numerology and energy. So Shantae's visiting me.
Hello.
Anyway, I was editing the podcast that we were going to post on today, Monday, and which is Blair, and an amazing woman who's out on the West Coast. But Shantae and I were talking. Basically, what's happened is a number of the people that we were going to have interviews with had to postpone our conversations due to illness, due to family emergencies, life circumstances, right?
Right.
So we only have the one for today, which we were going to do for Blair. So we were brainstorming, Shantae and I.
And then we realized that tomorrow is the 2022 portal.
Yeah.
And the 3 days leading up to it have been very intense energetically. So we thought it would be very fascinating to just do a podcast about the energetics and the numerology, especially.
Right. I started out as a mathematician. I was very good in math. In fact, I remember when I went to the museum that's at the Vatican, this was like 40 years ago, 40 years ago. And there were about 100 or so of us in this group, and they divided us in, I think, 3, maybe 4 groups of people to go with the docents who went around telling us about all the different paintings. Now, these paintings were huge. I mean, these rooms had to have been like 40 feet by 40 feet. I mean, they were large rooms. These paintings were so big, there was only room for 1 per wall. So there were only like 4 paintings, not with every room. Some of them were smaller and they had 2 on a wall, but they were huge paintings. And in this person that I was, a friend and I, both of us got kind of bored. I mean, that's really basically what happened. We didn't want to listen to the docent. I love art, but I don't want to hear all the history and paint strokes and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right, I can relate to that.
Excuse me. So we decided to walk ahead of our docent, and we walk into a room with only 4 very large paintings. And I look at one of them and I'm going, see those guys up on that hill? That's Pythagoras teaching a class. And she's like, oh, Sara, you're full of it. Which maybe I was, but I knew it was Pythagoras. Anyway, so the docent came in like 5 minutes later, and let me just say that everything was in Italian. I know 2 languages, English and math. That's pretty much it.
That's true. Math is a language.
Math is definitely a language. Maybe music, but that's math in a auditory form.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, she did come in and she said, yeah, that's Pythagoras. And she explained all the paint strokes and everything that I wasn't really interested in my 20s. Actually, I'm still not interested in it. But I love looking at art and communing with it.
Yeah, I love feeling the energy of the art, but
right.
That's really,
I don't need to hear all the history. I don't retain the history anyway. But the bottom line is, I remember studying with Pythagoras. I don't know how I have that memory. It's just, I remember being a student.
What do you remember about being a student with
Pythagoras? Well, it feels like I was a young male, like, maybe 14, 15 years old, very somber. You were very somber. Yes.
Was Pythagoras is he very somber?
Had
he
white
seemed to have
hair.
a sense of humor. I don't know why I feel that, but it seems like he was very
he did.
witty.
Yes. I remember him being he played with words a lot.
And so do you.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's he would do what we would call today tongue in cheek, make comments that make you go, what? I was like, wait a minute here, let me, and there was and it was designed to make you think so that we wouldn't get into habits on how we process things.
Hmm.
But anyway, my perspective is he's the father of numerology. I had a numerology reading about 40 years ago, and I got hooked. The bug bit me, and I'm like, because I
Oh.
was a mathematician anyway. I had my degree in math and statistics and research. And so I started reading everything I could get my hands on in terms of learning numerology. And over the decades, with doing all the intuitive development things that I've done, plus honing my own skills, I don't really, I haven't really pursued doing work in numerology.
Hmm.
Um, Not sure why, because people have asked for it. I never felt the energy, but right now in this moment, it feels like, yeah, we need to look at the energy of tomorrow's date,
Yeah.
possibly also the astrology. But the numerology I do is a blend of what I've read, and there's a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different
So it's a
windows.
blend of what you've read, because I know that there are several different schools. There's Pythagorean numerology, and then there's other ones and
Egyptian. Yeah,
Egyptian.
there's all.
So yours is a blend of
Everybody,
those plus your own intuitive.
that everybody puts their own spin on it,
Right.
based
Like
on their
astrology
own
or
life
something.
experiences. I have heard some definitions or descriptions of what the energy of this number is.
Mhm.
That doesn't match my experience, but I do know we all look through different windows at different things. So in this case, numerology. So it may be very accurate for that person when it's something that doesn't resonate with me. It resonates with them.
Right.
But I like to think that mine's more Pythagorean
Mhm.
in influence. But who really knows? It's not like I could check that out and validate it.
True.
But anyway, so we got talking. We thought you guys might be interested in the numerology of tomorrow, because tomorrow is an incredibly powerful day
Incredibly.
energetically. So everything's a vibratory frequency, whether it's clothing, people, things like a desk, cup of water, my glasses, emotions, music. Everything has its own unique vibratory frequency, including numbers. And generally speaking, the number 2, the vibratory frequency, is about cooperation. 1 plus 1 is 2, like we're 2. So
Right.
we're cooperating right now. That's the
cooperation, collaboration.
collaboration. So that's generally speaking, that's a very general overview of what the energy of 2, very simplistic overview actually, of the 2. It's about cooperation. So February being a 2 month, it's not a surprise that February 14th is the day for lovers.
Right.
Because got to cooperate there to have that dynamic.
Yep.
Right. So, little things like that. But what really struck me when we were just talking about this a little while ago, because I hadn't really given it much thought, I've been doing a lot of other things in my life. 2022, this year is 2022, which is a lot of 2s.
A lot of 2s, and tomorrow is,
I mean, it's
mostly all 2s.
Yeah, well,
And
2s
today.
and 0. And
Yeah.
0 is generally the number of grace, where source, God, whatever you want to call that energy field. I call it source.
I call it source, spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Jonte, let me give you a helping hand. Right?
Yeah, and you can
So it's grace. Help you create those shifts better.
Right. Let's just take a moment to feel to feel the grace, the energy of the grace, because
Yeah, it
yeah,
starts
starts
building
building.
several days before.
Mhm.
So, yeah. And I want to real quick read a little bit about what oh, maybe I won't. My computer had to be rebooted. I lost the link. So maybe I won't do the astrology for 2022.
Well, we could connect the link to this recording so that you all can read
Yeah.
about it, and maybe we can find several
Or they
different
can Google it.
interpretations
They're
too.
all capable people.
Well, that's true. I was just trying to bundle it up in a neat little package.
Oh, okay. Well, we might do that. Or technically, I might. Not sure about how you would do it on my computer.
I'm not really sure how I would either.
Anyway, so 2022 technically is a 6. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. And 6, the energy of 6 is family and service, the vibrational frequency. Now, family can be a family of friends. It could be yourself if you are living by yourself. It could be you and your immediate family. It could be you and your extended family. It could be the family of humankind. It could be the family of the universe. But since we're talking about 2022 for this planet, it's probably more about a personal and also a global level.
Yeah.
So, and then it being a 6, which is service. Well, the most effective service, wouldn't you agree, is the balance of taking care of yourself and others.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It starts with service to self and then extends to service with others. And then connecting.
Giving from your own abundance.
Yes.
Not from your lack, right? Because if we give from our lack, we burn ourselves out. And then we can't give anymore. So that is an influence of this entire year, is to be of service on, and also on family. So focusing on the family. So the 6 energy as well as, and then cooperation, which is the 2 energy. But that 0 is grace. So I wish I remembered every single thing we talked about, because that was good stuff.
It was live channeled.
Anyway, so with 2022, the foundation is cooperation, coordination, family, and being of service. So I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, as below, so above, as within, so without, right? So it starts with self, having that balance within self, and cooperation, and then expanding it to the family, and then expanding it to your city, town, and so on, to be global. The 0 again is grace. So we're being given this entire year, we're being given the opportunity, with support from spirit, from source, to develop new ways that are more effective of allowing the flow of love to come through us and fill this planet. New ways to effectively cooperate, coordinate, create your life. Oh, and you know what? What's so neat about that being the case? It kind of makes sense that we're having these podcasts about people who are doing those things in new ways.
I know.
It's like, and especially Blair, who's next week's, and she's so, even though there's more and more people approaching life like she is, she's so out of the box of structures, having the home, we're getting a job, all these intense structures that really don't work for many people anymore, from what I've been reading anyway. And she's like a spearhead of this. But anyway, back to the numerology. So 2022 is a year where we're focusing on new ways of expressing cooperation, coordination, family, and service. And it's the grace is there to facilitate and make it a little bit easier to make these changes within our own selves and within our behaviors. Being more aware that what we do and what we don't do doesn't just impact us, it impacts the whole world. And our
Right.
attitudes, because it is energy, impacts the whole world and our environment as well. So that it's an opportunity to increase the speed of our vibratory frequency and allow love, unconditional love to
Unconditional
flow.
love
Yeah,
for self and strengthening our connection, our family, soul
right,
family.
right.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, February, the month of February is it's kind of more the same, but February is always about cooperation. It's the second month of our calendar. So it's always about cooperation. But tomorrow is the 22nd. So we have 2, 22, 2, 22. It's a pattern. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, right?
Right. We're
Not
just
saying anything, but just flow of consciousness talking here. So tomorrow specifically, and I want to say that I didn't say this earlier, 22 is one of the master numbers.
that's true.
A master number is a higher vibratory, or a faster is actually more accurate. Like middle C has a certain vibratory frequency. High C is essentially the same frequency, but faster, right? Faster, so it sounds higher. Same concept as like in music. So 22 master numbers are to master the behavior. So it's an opportunity to master cooperation within, cooperation, coordination within as well as without. But the interesting thing about 22 is it vibrates down to a 4, which is foundations. It's foundations. 4 is the number, like if you got a lot of 4s in your name or in your birth date, you're going to be studying a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so I've heard some people call it the school number. It's not that simplistic, but it does correlate with that, where you are creating foundations. So when you put it all together, we have the opportunity tomorrow with the grace of source, with the grace of God, to create healthier foundations
Yes.
about
Wait.
cooperation, coordination, working with the different aspects of ourselves, working with friends and coworkers, working within the family, opportunities to learn new ways, healthier ways, ways that actually facilitate ease of accomplishing goals.
Ways that are balanced and in alignment with your
Energy.
with your soul blueprint, with
Right.
source.
Right. So that's why if you're feeling an intensity of energy, it's indicating that you have an opportunity to shift a behavioral or belief, an intellectual belief pattern of what cooperation and coordination looks like, and family and service, and foundations. So we are all having
Yeah.
this opportunity.
And speaking of shifting and feeling the intense energies, I'm gonna bring you this Herkimer diamond crystal, and just take a moment to feel, because this is like the master quartz, and it really is connected to clearly channeling and experiencing the essence of source. And so just as you reflect and feel into these, because feel these smooth triangles and recesses, and
So Herkimer diamond is a crystal, a quartz crystal. It's not a diamond. But what if I understand it correctly, it's when a quartz crystal grows inside of a quartz crystal.
Right.
So it amplifies
Yeah.
everything. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful stone. It is. You were hiding that on you?
I was hiding that on me, and as we were talking, I just felt guided to bring it forth.
Yeah, this one has crystals all over her body.
Yeah.
She doesn't leave home without them. Anyway, yeah, her suitcase was about 1/3 clothes and toiletries, and
then I had
2/3
several bags of crystals, making room because since I'm visiting, I anticipate that my collection will grow a bit.
Yes, we are going to a lot of crystal shops in the area.
Yes.
Anyway, so please feel free to make comments, ask questions. I get notified when questions are asked, so I can respond, or I can send them to Jonte to respond. She has a Braille reader, so she can do that. Please remember to subscribe. When you subscribe to our channel, then, and I'm presuming you're interested, because why else would you be watching it, right? So if you subscribe to our channel, then you'll get notified every time a new video is posted. We're kind of playing around with doing more than just a Monday post, but we're still figuring out details on that, and don't want to bore you, but we thought today, with the 2022 energies of tomorrow, might be of interest. So again, the energetic pattern is opportunity to create more effective ways of communicating with family, however you define that, and cooperation and coordination towards common goals. So even if the goal is within yourself and something there's different aspects with all of us. We all have those inner children at different ages. It's not just the adult us. So it's about finding that cooperation with all the aspects of ourselves, which facilitates being happier and more at peace. Being connected and more at peace. The more we integrate with the different aspects of ourselves, the greater experience of peace, which leads to joy. It's a soft joy.
It's a soft joy. It's a smooth flow between peace and joy.
So, which at my age is nice, want to have that soft flow. This one gets very excited though.
Very.
Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Look for our podcast with Blair, who is traveling and doing her work, literally healing the planet.
Yep, she's a planetary healer.
Yep. So you guys have a lovely, lovely
wonderful week. Have fun tomorrow celebrating these energies, and you'll be feeling them throughout the week. And we will talk with you
later. Yeah.
Peace and joy.
Bye. We hope you have enjoyed our conversation about the energies of February 22nd, 2022. Please take a moment to visualize our planet Earth bathed in white light. Everything within, on, and surrounding the planet is filled with this white light. And all energies in whatever form are moving into and staying balanced for the highest good
of all.